Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. It's going to be Death Note Review Season 1, Episodes 14 and 15. I don't know why I'm saying Season 1. There's only one season, so it's like,
Right.
I don't... what else could I be talking about?
I wish there was a second season. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. But I'm here with...
I'm AJ Talent.
And basically, everything's going wrong that really can't go on this week because, AJ's...
He's Owen Finch, by the way, for those of you who don't know. This is his channel, but...
I always forget to introduce myself because I've been doing a couple solo videos today. So, I just assume people know who I am at this point. So,
it's your channel. If you're coming in at Death Note, episode 14, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. But anyhow, like, basically now we're supposed to, have been get into the time jump by tonight. But basically everything's going wrong that shouldn't be going wrong. And it always happens like the week we really need to get stuff done. So,
but the point is we'll definitely have Death Note done by next week. And hopefully we'll be at the time skip by the end of this week.
Yeah. Because basically, because I think it's best because I kind of want like a day to let the time jump kind of like sink in instead of like reviewing it the next day. So I'm kind of
like it kind of like loses impact like if you just go like from the beginning of the time skip to the the end of this part, like the end of to the beginning of the next part.
Well, it was like Breaking Bad when we watched that big thing where Hank found out. If I just watched the next episode, it really wouldn't have sunk in all that much. So
yeah, you gotta let it like sit a little bit. We'll probably get to the episode 25 this week, and then we'll start reviewing again when we're together. So,
yeah,
that's the plan. Plans are not our forte. So
yeah, because we're gonna talk about it probably after we finish this review because AJ's gotta work a couple of days and he's gotta go to school, so it's gonna kind of make things messy too. But we are gonna finish Death Note definitely because that one day we hang out together, we're gonna have like a ton of time to
and it's
watch it.
We'll just have like a one day where we just like sit around, hang out. If we can't get it done that day, I'm sure there's another day we could set aside some time to do it. At least when I'm visiting him, we'll definitely have it done.
Yeah. So let's talk about these two episodes. So obviously we're gonna start off with 14 because 14 comes before 15. It doesn't make sense to do 15 first.
We'll just skip 14. 13 to 15 sounds about right.
Yeah. So this episode is called Friend, and I believe it's called the Japanese term for it is whatever friend is in Japanese, but I can't say that word, so we're just gonna call it Friend.
Yeah, and I think the name of the title is for what L says later on in the episode, which we'll talk about.
Yep. And this episode originally came out on January 16th, 2007. This is like, the one it aired in Japan TV. And the one that we're actually watching aired on January 25th, 2008. So it had like probably literally like 1 year and 1 week from this one. So I don't know what they were doing.
They still use the dates for like this still, even though this came into America in 2008, it's still set in 2007.
Yeah. Or 2006 because the show started.
Or in the comic, it's set in 2004.
Yeah. So, but which makes sense, obviously, because obviously, like TV shows never really are like fully with the time that's going on, like whenever you're watching it. So, it always takes a little bit to either catch up or it's like so far in advance. So, but anyhow, this episode, Friend, basically just kind of kicks right off like right after Light and Misa like met and Light hugged her. It basically just kicks right off of that, and Light reveals his plan that he's gonna have her eliminate L and the task force, and then he'll eliminate
Shinigami eyes because she can see their names.
Yeah, and he's thinking this too. This is one of those Death Note things where they kind of like think, and they don't, no one else can hear it, except the Shinigami. I believe Shinigami can read people's minds because, like, I noticed like Light will think something, and then Ryu can like hear it. So, Light says he's going to eliminate her, too, because she'll be the only one that will know that he's Kira. So, obviously, that makes sense for her to...
Right, like, the only other Death Note user that he knows of is her. So,
yeah.
Get her out of the way.
So, basically, this is and then it kind of like, you know, Misa like tells Light about the whole thing of how Shinigami can die, and we don't actually like see or tell him this because we already know about it. So they
right.
just
They explained it last time.
yeah. So
and
they just
Light was kind of interested in this, but I don't think he sees any use for it right now.
yeah. And then it cuts like over to a scene with L where he reveals that he's gonna have like an FBI agent again follow Light because he's still suspicious of Light. But this time, around it's also different too because like this time I'll actually know who Light is and stuff, and he's gonna be more secretive about it than he was the first time because that first time didn't go over so well. So
oh yeah, and I remember you even mentioned like, oh, this guy's like Ray Pember 2.0, and I was like, oh wow, I'm surprised you remember who Ray Pember was.
Yeah, so I think basically they did this as like a side thing just to kind of get the fans thinking, which I liked, and
just kind of show that Al still doesn't trust Light.
Yeah, then it cuts back to Light and Misa, and Light's talking to Misa. They basically have everything planned out. They kind of like recap, kind of talk about what they've been doing since they got in the Death Notes and stuff. Light wants to know like where Misa sent like the tapes from that she sent to that TV studio like back in episode like 12, 11-ish. But and she said that she did it for like various locations in Japan. And Light wants all of those destroyed, obviously, because
yeah, they're like evidence.
Yeah, which that kind of ties in to the next episode. So, and Light wants her to like make a video, like with that distorted voice and stuff, pretending to be the second Kira, saying that she has no interest to meet the real Kira anymore. And basically just kind of making it seem like that they don't have to have that.
Right, because he doesn't want the task force to know that they're working together. Like
yeah,
it's more advantageous for him if they think he's just working alone.
And he like wants like her to confuse L too by saying like I don't need to share my powers. I have other people I could share my powers with to kind of get L thinking maybe there's more than two Kiras and stuff like that. I think it's basically too like Light playing more games with L just to kind of mess with them. So
right, he just wants to like misdirect them, like how he would have the prisoners like write random messages, like do death gods like apples.
Yeah,
just to like make L like be like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah. So
Misa is willing to do all this, but she has a term, and that is she needs to be Light's girlfriend.
Yeah. And like she wants like Light to go on dates with her like once a week and things like that. But Light doesn't want them to be seen together because then it's gonna lead suspicion with Light. Because obviously he's just gaining L's trust. If he's suddenly hanging with this new girl and a bunch of weird stuff starts happening, Light's gonna get become like a prime suspect again.
Yeah, so. He's already a prime suspect. This is just like handing himself on a silver platter.
That's why too, like Misa too was even gonna have like a way for the meet L, but like the problem is too, like even if Misa just went and looked at L like at the task force and then L died, like he would
then they'll know like, okay, this new girl suddenly sees L and then he dies like 2 days later.
Yeah, so
it's kind of the same thing with Light. When L first revealed himself to Light couldn't do anything because they would know it was him.
Yeah. And then Light says that Light said he's gonna start seeing other girls, and this triggers Misa because obviously any like hearing like your boyfriend gonna do that
obviously they're not dating, but in her twisted mind she thinks that.
And Misa like threatens to kill them to kill any other girl that Light is seen with. And this actually scares Light a little bit to the point where he actually ends up calling her sweetie. Like, he's just that scared. And
well, I don't think he's scared of her. I think it's more like he knows that she's serious and she can, like, get him caught.
Yeah. But he says basically, that, like, if it's too obvious that we're dating, then people are going to start to question both of us. And basically, Misa's not really doing anything that, is basically questioning Light consistently, and Light threatens to kill her if she continues to like kind of question him and stuff.
And then Big Mama Rem steps in.
And yeah, this is when she says that if Misa dies before the end of her lifespan, she'll kill Light, and she's fine with like dying herself if it means killing Light. Because they did tie in with that.
I think it's interesting because, like we mentioned before, that like obviously like Rem and Misa are a bit different than Light and Ryuk. Like Ryuk doesn't really care about Light all that much.
Yeah.
He just thinks like he's a fun toy type of thing. Like he's like entertainment. Rem actually cares about Misa. Like Ryuk wouldn't sacrifice himself to save Light.
No, they actually tied that into like when Misa was telling him like Light even says like I don't have to ever worry about that with Ryuk because Ryuk and Light don't have the same type of relationship now and stuff too. Right. So Light obviously is a little bit frightened about this, and basically like Light like realizes that he's screwed. Like he's stuck with Misa.
The rest of her life, and like her lifespan is extended because the other Shinigami sacrificed his life for her.
Yeah.
So like basically he'll be stuck taking care of her for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Well, we don't know.
There's a way to get rid of Rem.
Yeah. And this is when he finds out, too, because he looks up information about her and finds out that, like, she's, like, this famous model now, too. So now they can't be seen together because then, obviously people will know about it. Yeah. So he even tells, like, his mom and his sister not to tell anybody about it because he lies saying that, like, the publicist won't think it looks good for her to be in a relationship with him and stuff like that. So, and it also ties in because that FBI agent was watching Light in class, and
he's not an FBI agent, but yeah, the police guy.
Whatever he is.
Yeah, I think the U.S. was all set with FBI after Light killed them all.
Yeah. They were probably like, yeah, don't go back to Japan, guys. You stay.
Yeah, that's even what he said. Like the president called L and was like, yeah, we're not sending any more FBI.
Yeah. They learned their lesson. Wherever he is, though, Caesar is watching Light in class, and this is kind of when, like, we see that, like, Light is kind of, like, seeing another girl in class, because showing that, like, Light's trying to not be as suspicious. I don't think Light realizes, though, he's really being watched this time.
Right, I think, yeah.
Because I feel like, too, like, the show would have brought it up and stuff like that, and I feel like he definitely wasn't acting like he knew he was being watched this time. So, and then Light gets to see L's reaction to that video that Misa made. Why don't you talk about that?
Light L saw through it in about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
He basically automatically knew that that the video was bullshit and that this Kira did meet up with the original Kira.
Yeah.
And he pointed this out because it's like, why would the second Kira suddenly not care about the other Kira unless they met up and wanted to blindside L?
Yeah.
And Light was like, God damn it! You saw right through it.
Yeah. He even however, though, now L isn't as suspicious of Light, which we don't know if he's telling the truth or not. Though he could be lying to Light.
L's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because he like asks Light what he would do if like he were Kira, basically.
Yeah.
And Light walks it through it, and L basically tells everyone straight up like he still thinks Light is a suspect.
Yeah, but it was definitely very interesting, and L says it would kind of break his heart in a way that if Light was Kira, because Light's the only friend that he's ever really had, and that's when like the episode.
Light was like shocked when he said that. He was like,
Yeah.
Duke was like laughing a little.
Yeah. And he was making fun of Light for like the rest of the episodes. Like he thinks of you as a friend now. Like.
You and your buddy gonna go hang out?
Yeah, and there's actually like I've told you before, I have like a TV app where I can like pick TV shows to watch. I can like check them off when I watch the episode, and people will comment on them, and there's like a meme now where it says when Elle says that, where someone goes, "I'm not crying, you are," because it's like such a sad scene and stuff. We should just like when you're in person, I'll show you. I'll go through that episode, and there's probably tons of meme of that stuff. Like,
yeah.
But
yeah, because it's sad, like Elle, like okay, it's debated whether or not Elle was being serious or not.
Yeah.
Because you can look at it like Elle is full of shit, and he's just trying to like trick Light, or he does really consider Light a friend.
Yeah,
I like to think, me and you both kind of agree that we both like to think that like Elle was being serious, and he thinks Light is his friend.
Yeah, but when I'll talk about though. When I watched this episode the first time, I'm like, is he tricking him here? I'm not, because I kind of wasn't sure. But when I watch this scene again, and I'm like, I think he's being genuine here. Because
I mean, I know everything that happens, and like most everything that happens, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Serious or not.
I like it too because it gets the audience to think whether or not he was being like serious. So then
I like to think he was, yeah.
Light's walking home, and he's having like one of those Death Note thoughts. That you see in the episode.
Should we just call it that from now on?
Yeah, I feel like too, like if no one ever watches the show, they'll have no clue what I'm talking about. So let's do it. But yeah, Light even thinks like I can't be seen with Misa, and I kind of like that because this time doing these Death Note thoughts, like someone actually interrupts it. I don't think that's ever happened before.
I know, yeah. Usually it's just like time seems to like stop whenever they want to think.
Yeah, and this time Misa though, I guess Misa's like more powerful than time. Like
Misa's so annoying she can stop the audience from listening into people's heads.
Yeah, and yeah, what an idiot she was because she shows up and Light's just like, I've never been provoked to hit a woman until right now, and you really can't blame him here.
Was pissed. He was like, "You are gonna get me executed."
Yeah. Luckily too, like he thought no one was watching because it was late at night, but we see that like that cop or whatever he is, that he's not even really a cop too. He's just some random guy just walking.
Yeah. Al was just like, "Hey, give me $10 if you follow this guy around."
But whoever he is like watching Light, so the guy's probably suspicious now because he's dating like 2 girls now, so that's a little bit weird. I don't know,
Light's like a handsome dude, so I don't think it's like that weird.
Yeah, but the guy could go tell Elle about that, and Elle could say, "I want you to watch these 2 girls and see if what Light does."
And Misa's too dumb; like she would get caught in like a day.
Speaking of that, we'll get into that. So,
save that for 15.
Yeah, but
all right, night, buddy.
Night. I'll let you talk about the last scene. They go back to Light's room.
All right. Well, Misa was there, right? Yeah. Okay. Misa was there. They go back into the room. Light is just pissed at her, being like, "Hey, don't like do this because you will get me caught, and I would rather not get electric chair."
Yeah.
Because listen, if Light gets caught, he's absolutely getting executed, like 100%.
Yeah, he's killed so many people that Although they could do the same thing that they did with the Boston Bomber, where they quit. I feel like though, like it's not even gonna be like a Boston. Like Light killed. Like I know the Boston Bomber killed a lot of people, but Light killed like way more people.
Like the Boston Bomber killed what, a couple dozen people. Light has killed hundreds. Repeat that, hundreds of people.
Yeah, and the numbers are just gonna keep going up and up and up.
Not like thousands. Light has had a lot of time where he can just sit around and write the notebook.
Can you imagine too, like what like the bombers and stuff think too, like when they find out about this notebook, like damn, like
they're probably terrified, like knowing that like someone's going around killing criminals. They know they're like top of the list.
Maybe like they're gonna be well behaved now, no more criminals anymore.
Yeah. Like actually, a lot of people bring that up in the show. Like, man, a lot of crime rates are going down because people are so terrified of Kira.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're getting off topic, but what else happens?
So Misa is upset, but to calm her down, Light kisses her basically, and Ryuk gets a kick out of that.
No, actually, that's the next episode.
Oh, my bad. Well, I don't remember what happens. Can you?
So this Light manipulates Rem pretty much.
Right.
To basically kill Elle to make Misa happy, and this is kind of like one of those scenes you really have to watch because like it's like Light getting into his like Kira montage, being like, really manipulative and just being really evil, and it's just awesome. So just
I like how we like it when Light is a piece of shit person.
Yeah. Well, except that one time, but
Well, it was one time
when he killed the Ren Pemba's wife. That was the only...
no, that was an awesome scene because you see how evil he is.
Yeah. And you don't think Light doesn't think she's gonna do it, and then at the end of the episode she says, "I'll do it," and like Light's in surprise about it because he didn't think it would like be that easy to like get her to like kill L, because we talked about this before, like, this just shows the different relationships that like Light and Ryuk and Rem and Misa have together, because Light would not have been able to convince Ryuk to do this. So that was the end of the episode. I thought it was definitely an awesome episode. I thought it was a great setup for episode 15. That's really what it is, but there's just some really great scenes here, like when L tells Light that he's his friend, seeing like Light and Misa like have the first episode where they're working together. So I really like it. Definitely an A-. So then episode 15, which aired a week later. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna look it up. And this episode is called Wager, which
watch it like this was aired 2 weeks later.
Yeah. I'll double check.
Okay, no, you don't have to. It's fine. I was just kidding.
Yeah, it had actually it aired February 1st, 2008 actually. So that's not I don't think that's 2 weeks later. So there you go. I think it's less than a week later. So so there you go. That's one beauty about Death Note. So if you're watching it live, you didn't have to wait a week. You only had to wait like a few days. So
yeah, nice.
But anyhow, so it basically like is like the last episode where it just starts right from the last episode. So this takes place like right after 14, and Rem and Light planning how to execute L, and obviously like Rem just can't go right over right now and kill L because Light needs to plan it out, because I think that's also Light's like character too. He doesn't like just to go do things randomly without planning it out. So
right, because and also it's like if L suddenly dies, it might be like a situation like before. It's like Light and Misa will be top suspects.
Yeah, so he plans to have L die like in some type of car accident or something like that. Basically, like non-violently, where it just looks like that he wouldn't be a suspect.
Right, like make it look like a non-Kira death.
Yeah, and I did like that Ryuk was giving him the little nod where that Light was looking surprised because like L called him his friend. I kind of like that they brought that up a little bit. So I thought that was pretty cool. And why don't you talk about like what we kept seeing like throughout this episode, like the thing where like Light and L were like almost like tower.
Oh yeah, we see L colored in blue and Light colored in red, standing on like two towers atop a city, like staring each other down.
Yeah,
awesome.
Like
obviously that wasn't real. That was like just in their heads.
Yeah, and it was really awesome because it kind of tied into the episode, because throughout this whole episode was like when they were having like this bet with each other.
This was a great like L and Light episode, Yeah. I feel like the last couple episodes it's been like just Light or just L. This was like a good like these two are like going head to head.
I mean, even when we saw them together, they weren't really like going head to head. This is like the first episode I think since that tennis scene where they went head to head. So
right, and like halfway through this episode, you think like Light has got L like checkmated.
Yeah. And
5 seconds later, it's completely flipped, and now Light is almost caught.
Yeah. So it's like definitely one of those awesome scenes. So let's talk. So L's back like in his hotel room, and he's going through
Light kisses Misa and before that. Right?
I think this is like when that
just like happens. Calm her down and like make her like kind of shows that like Light can just make Misa do whatever if he shows her a little affection.
Yeah. And also too, this is the scene. Light gets like Misa's second cell phone, so that way they can contact each other, because Light doesn't want to use his phone because then it could get wired by the task force, and then
right, and that's important for later when L pulls his thing.
Yeah. Um, and Light's only gonna make a conversation, like, is only gonna be the one physically calling her, but instead of her calling him. So, um, there you go. And then Al's back in his hotel room, and he's going through like different, like, evidence of like hairs and crumbs and stuff. And I just like this scene because Al's doing all this stuff, and he just nonchalantly just tells um, Mr. Yagami, or Chief Yagami, that if I'm dead within like the next couple of days, your son's gonna be like more of a suspect now. And he just continues to go back to doing
casually, like he just drops that bomb.
Yeah.
Just, oh yeah. By the way, what's for dinner?
Yeah, like
I love Al. He's great.
Yeah, and Al admits like even he's saying all this stuff because he doesn't have like a lot of suspects and he doesn't really know like what to think right now. He's never been like in a position like this, which you can believe. Like I bet when Al's been brought to a case, he solved it probably in like 20 minutes, if that. Like, yeah. Like I don't think he's ever spent like this amount of time like working on a case. So
Yeah, it's probably he's never faced something like this before.
Which maybe Al likes this though. Maybe he likes the challenge in a way. Because,
I think he does. I think they both like the challenge.
Yeah, like that could be one thing we could talk about that's good about this show. Like Al has been so smart; he's been able to solve cases like really quick. Which I feel like I could say is like a flaw in Death Note. Maybe it would have been nice if we could have seen like Al, like how quickly he would have solved cases, and then he just gets this cake and
to get like a comparison. Like, we're told he's the world's greatest detective, but we don't really see that other than the Kira case.
Yeah. So but.
And also, I like how there's like a little bit of like respect between the two.
Yeah.
Like Kira like respects L and L respects Kira. Like they want to kill each other, obviously, but like they like.
Yeah.
They understand like they're equals.
Because L brings that up too, like when he was talking about the second cure, like he didn't like the way the second cure operated. He liked the way, like he didn't like the first cure obviously, but he liked the way he operated a lot better. Like
right, like a rival type of thing.
Yeah.
And there are like cases like that in real life where like a serial killer and like a cop will like have like a massive amount of respect for each other because like they like because they like go against each other for so long.
Yeah. So then back at school, Light's just hanging around. And then he sees L, which kind of pisses him off because that's the last thing he expected to see. Because Light drops that like hint in the last episode where he says he misses L being around school. Probably shouldn't have said that because it
took him on his advice and he was like, oh god damn it.
Yeah. So he should not have said that. Like Light's like, I should not have said that. Yeah. So then this is when Al drops that bomb that if I'm dead within the next few days, I'm gonna assume that you're gonna be more of a suspect. And Light's like, son of a bitch, like, because now we can't eliminate him.
I know. It's like he was just gonna have Ren kill L, and then he drops that.
Yeah, so now we can't have him killed. So,
but just as we think Light is on the losing side, guess who shows up?
Yeah, I should let you talk about this actually, because
sure. Miso shows up to talk to her BF Light. Yeah. But because she has the Shinigami eyes, she can see that what L's name is. So Light is like, okay, I just need to get his name from Misa, and then I can write his name.
Yep. So
Light's got L.
Yeah. But we noticed, though, L's smiling for some reason. We don't know why he's smiling, but we noticed something. He's onto something here.
Yeah.
And everybody at the school recognizes Misa. Yeah, so
she's a model or whatever.
Yeah. They all come up and, want to get, like, a autograph and all that.
There's
and
like a funny scene where, like, L, like, slaps her ass.
Yeah. And, L acts like
okay, that's just L being L.
Yeah.
We find out later why he did that.
And L, like, nonchalantly acts like it wasn't him. So, Light is about to use Misa's, like, second phone she gave him to make the call. To, have Misa tell him his name. And I like this was the perfect time, too, to go to a commercial break. Like, absolutely perfect, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Death Note is really good at timing that.
Yeah. And, he makes the call. And we hear the phone, though. This was like exactly like that scene where like Hank goes to the hospital and we hear his phone ring because he was tricked from solving the Eisenberg case then, thinking Marie was in the hospital. This was that scene right here. We
draw a lot of parallels between Breaking Bad and Death Note. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. So this is why I say it to a lot of Breaking Bad fans. If you like that show, Death Note's for you because
Yeah,
it's this,
exactly.
um and we hear Misa's phone ringing, which was kind of weird, and we see and L answers the. This is actually a funny scene. L
Yeah.
answers the phone, and I like the way he like
And he
answers.
holds it super weird too. He's like, like holding it like that.
Yeah, and he says, "Hello, who's this?" And then Light's like, "What do you mean, who's this?" Like,
Yeah.
so
I like how Al is just trolling him the whole time, and Light's super pissed about it.
yeah, because Light's like, he's like pissed because he's like, I just had this and you just took off. So, and then
Yeah.
they,
This is the moment where I was talking about where it's like you think Light's winning, like about the checkmate him, and then
yeah,
completely flips.
um, and it does show like that scene again. Like we find out that L pickpocketed her phone. So because when he slapped her ass. So there you go. Um, so he says he lies saying that he's gonna return Misa's phone, so he just hands it over. And Light's like, he still thinks he's won though because we find out we knew about this already, but Misa has 3 phones, so he's about to make the call again. But then I'll let you talk about L's phone wins. What phone call does L get?
That they have detained Misa and are holding her for questioning. Well,
And then
questioning.
Yeah, but they don't say though that she's under investigation, thinking that she's Kira. They just lie and say like her manager was arrested for drug possession, so that way it wouldn't get out into the public. So
right, they didn't want like people to panic, and also they don't really want the public knowing like about Kira, like what's
yeah,
happening with it.
and this is that moment where L there was no checkmate here. L moved his piece of the. You could tell I don't play chess, so
Yeah, no,
I know.
that's like another do I.
But basically, L was about to get checkmated, and he defended himself. So,
Pretty much.
um, this is like that scene too, where like Light goes, he's on the tower. They show the tower scene again, and Light was like, "I was," because they found out like Misa became a suspect because those
Her
people.
fingerprints were on the tapes.
Yeah. So this is like when Light said he was careless, and it shows like him like falling down the building as if like he's lost, and
Yeah,
Light's
and
like,
I
"No,"
love that scene. That's a great scene.
and he's like, "No, I haven't lost yet because if Misa doesn't say anything, he's in the clear." So, um, then it goes back to the task force, and Al is gonna have Misa tortured until he tells her about
Well, when we say torture, we don't mean like beat, like just kind of like restrained and like
yeah.
which is still like illegal. And like the task force is even like, all right, this might be going a little too far. But Al's like, I don't really got any other choice.
Yeah. Um, and this is to the point where like Misa is just begging to be killed, and
Al thinks he's talking to her. She's talking to him, but really she's talking to Rem.
yeah, and
They can't see Rem, obviously.
yeah, and because this is just too much for her, and realizes that she basically doesn't have really a choice at this point because Light will get caught because she has no way out. But Rem tells her that if she kills her, she'll have to kill Light, and that kind of makes Misa go, "I don't really want to die here." Then, so then it cuts to several
actually,
hours.
she tries to bite her off her own tongue, so she bleeds out, and
Yeah.
Watery has to like gag her so she
Yeah.
doesn't, kill herself.
So then it cuts to several hours later, back at Light's room, and Rem comes over and tells Misa that she forfeited ownership of the Death Note. And
we learned something interesting from that. It's that if you forfeit ownership of the Death Note, you lose your memories of being an owner.
Yeah.
But she'll still remember Light and like being her girlfriend and being his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, like what you remember, what you don't.
Yeah, but anything connected to the Death Note, basically, she doesn't remember. Which I'm kind of happy about because hopefully this means she's gonna not be as big of a character now. So, we'll have to wait and see though because we still got a few more episodes. But there's also a catch. Rem says that she would also do this if Light would help her basically escape the task force. And if he doesn't, she'll kill him.
So basically, Light has to help her.
Yeah. And then this is like that scene where they end off in a cliffhanger where Light says, I guess this is goodbye with Yuke, and with Yuke's kind of like, what? And then the episode just ends. I thought it was a perfect cliffhanger, which, kind of sucked. Like I talked about before, everyone says, how could you wait, how could you watch this week to week if you can't even wait? Like I said, the difference is I actually could have just watched this, but I had to wait. It's worse when you have it at your access and you can't watch it. Like
I know.
So this episode I thought was absolutely awesome, though.
Oh, I give it an A+.
Yeah, like really, probably one of the best episodes behind, the tennis scene, and like what the first where we first meet Elle and stuff like that. It's definitely up there.
I think so far my favorite. This is pretty high up there. This is probably like in my top 3 that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I really like the episode where Light kills Ray Pember's wife.
Yeah, that one too.
In the episode where he actually kills Ray Pember.
Yeah, so there's a lot of.
But those are like Light outsmarting other people. Like this was definitely like a Elle outsmarting Light episode.
Yeah, because like we talked about in the last video. Something so simple that all Light had to do got messed up completely by Elle. Like
I know if Elle like didn't show. Okay, well, yeah. If Misa didn't let Elle steal her phone, Elle would be dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like little things that completely change everything,
Yeah. So I love it. And now hopefully we'll have time to watch the next episode. I actually think we'll be able to watch the next 2 episodes because
we should.
Because, like I said, it's not like we're watching Breaking Bad. But that's not only
it's like an hour an episode. These are like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and like most of the episode we can skip because it's not that I don't like the intro. It's just it just helps that we can skip it. So,
yeah. And thank you Netflix for adding that skip intro button.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, we're gonna end the video off. Is there anything you want to plug or promote?
Check out my channel, AJ Talent. I'll be getting my cap and gown for my high school graduation this week. So I will make a video, like, kind of showing that off.
Everyone likes that. And I still got to look and see if you lost those wrestling predictions, because you might have to make that Breaking Bad video.
Oh, right, yeah.
But yeah, then also check out, like, this channel for, wrestling stuff and, Death Note reviews for the time being. And also check out On the Talkinator, where we're going to be doing some videos there, and Wrestling Fortune 44, I do videos there. That's pretty much the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Well, later today, because I'm probably uploading this at like midnight, but whatever.